Hello, everyone. Welcome to my podcast, episode 1 of Spirituality and Marriage. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So excited that you're here. I'm Tina Marie J. So, first, before I get into this, I want to just make a quick little announcement because I actually forgot to mention this in my last video. I'm super excited. I am back with my Tell 'em Talks with Tina. If you have a story to share, you've left a cult, then tell me. Let me know. Send me a DM. Let me see. Where is it? Right here. Tina Marie _J. It's there on the screen. That's my Instagram. So reach out to me on my Instagram. Or you can even send me an email. I have that down below. But my email address is tinamjcoaching@gmail.com. Let me know that you're interested so we can set up a day and I can interview you and you can share your story. You can share as much or as little as you would like. I would like to try to keep it under 1 hour. All right. So let me know if that's something you might be interested in. This is something I used to do and I kind of stopped. And I had people ever since like, oh, are you going to do those interviews anymore? Because there are always people who want to share, but they don't really want to have their own platform to do it because it's a lot to put yourself out there, and I completely understand it. But it is also very healing to share and to just get it off. So that's that for you guys. And also, right now I have my podcast series. I already have episode 1 uploaded, so go check that out. I'll have that up above on the screens if you haven't seen episode 1. Episode 2 should be coming up for you. You'll be looking out for that for Monday. Okay, so that's for episode 2. Right now for my series 101 for families of those in occults. Lastly, every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be talking about cult-related topics, things that you should definitely know when it comes to cults, specifically targeted towards ICC and ICOC, the church that I was involved in. And I will also be talking about other topics that are involving cults in general, but this will mainly be focused on cult topics. So make sure that you're here if you want to listen to specifically cult related topics from now on. That will be every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So now we're going to get straight into this video. I wanted to make this video for those of you who were in Christianity but left and you're now embracing spirituality. It could be very difficult. I get it. I have been married for 12 years now. And I was the first one to leave Christianity. I never told my husband and tried to convince my husband to leave. It was actually kind of shocking when he did end up leaving Christianity. But it was rough because it took 2.5 years after I left before my husband had left Christianity. And before he left, when he was still a Christian, we did not get along well at all. It was a lot, because I would try to avoid conversations and he would try to bring up the conversations. Like, he would try to show me videos about Christianity and about Jesus and the Bible and the history and why it's real and why it's true and why everything I believe in is evil. And I was trying to just get away from it because we were involved in a cult. And so I was dealing with the effects of that. Plus, I was dealing with the way that I felt he was treating me because of the fact that he didn't agree with my decisions. So I know that that could be very difficult. My situation is probably different from yours because you were probably not in a cult. But still, it's difficult enough when you marry someone, especially if you married them and you guys already started off as Christians. And that's one thing I learned is that a lot of people tend to do. They tend to like rush into marriage and marry someone because they both believe in the exact same thing, not knowing that those beliefs could change at any time. Because the honest truth is that we constantly evolve, we constantly are growing. So things could change at any time. You cannot expect for things to forever be the same, or for you to ever be the same, or for your significant other to always and forever be the same. So I was changing and it was hard for him to accept that. And the way it happened was that in 2016, my husband and I both left the ICOC church that we were in. That church was very toxic. It was an unhealthy church spiritually. I was not growing. I did not leave with the intentions of leaving Christianity. I just left with the intentions of leaving that church. But because of a lot of the emotional stuff that I went through there, a lot of the, I want to say emotional abuse, because the way that they treated people in that church was not how a typical church is. I've been to other churches and I've never been to anything like that in my life. So that was a lot for me to have to already deal with and process. And I was already going through that. So I left that church and my husband left with me, but he instantly wanted to start visiting other churches. And I would try to, but then I learned that I had religious trauma syndrome, which is similar to PTSD, which is an actual thing. You could look it up. And I actually researched it and I was like, oh crap, this is a real thing. And I had a hard time going to churches. I had a hard time reading the Bible. And I just decided, you know what, I think I'm just going to take a break. And I'm going to just relax a little bit until I get myself together again so that I could get back into this. Because like I said, I had no intentions of leaving the faith. I just didn't want to be in any church that was going to shove the Bible and Christianity down my throat, because I felt burnt out. So my husband didn't like that. He didn't agree. He felt like we're a family. We have 2 kids. We're supposed to all go together. We're all supposed to be in church together. We're all supposed to be a part of this together. And that put a lot of strain on our relationship, because while he was going and taking the girls, I was staying home. I was loving it. I'm not going to sit here and act like I felt bad to stay home on a Sunday. I absolutely did not. I felt very, very, very happy and content and satisfied, because, I mean, come on, who doesn't want to stay home on a Sunday? Sunday mornings is like the best perk of not having to go to church and be a Christian, is that you get to stay home and you don't have to explain why you're staying home. You're just staying home. I loved it. But he didn't. And I remember he would leave and he wouldn't say bye. He would give me these looks of disapproval. I felt like I was disgusting to him. I felt like I disgusted him. I felt like I was a huge disappointment, and I felt like I could never be right. Now, here's the thing. Let me tell you this. When me and my husband were in the church that we were in, my husband got baptized in that church first, and then I got baptized after. When we were in there as members, I never felt like I made him happy. I never felt like he was ever proud of me as his wife. I never felt like I was doing anything right. Because in that church, a lot of the women were constantly trying to mold me into being this amazing Christian wife. I was going to all these different Christian women events and Christian women groups that I did not want to be in. And I just felt like, when is being me going to be enough? So when my husband was disappointed in the fact that I didn't want to be a Christian, I just added on. And then I had to make a decision, and I had to decide, all right, Tina, yes, your husband's not happy. Yes, people in that church that you used to be friends with completely cut you off. Like, you don't even exist to them anymore. Just because you left the church, now they cut you off. Yes. All right. So now you're lonely. All right. You're depressed. You're crying a lot. Okay, cool. We got that. Your anxiety, it's getting out of control. All right. We know this. So now what the fuck are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and keep crying? Or are you going to get up and make shit happen? And so that's when it hit me. And I was just like, sometimes I kind of got like tough talk myself. And I was like, that's true. I cannot just sit. I have to do something. So that was in 2016. From 2016 into 2017, it was rough. Then going into 2017, because I had left the church in 2016 in December, in like around Christmas time of 2016. By like summer of 2017, I remember I just completely stopped labeling myself Christian. I realized, and it hit me, I'm not Christian. It's not fair or respectful or right for me to try to claim this faith. I'm not going to disrespect the faith like that. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I'm a Christian when it's bullshit. I'm not. I don't act like one. I don't do what the Bible says I'm supposed to do as a Christian. So why can't I just freely admit I'm not, and freely admit that the reason I'm not a Christian is because I don't believe in all these things that are in the Bible that they say a Christian is supposed to believe in. The reason I'm not a Christian is because I found something new. I've learned something new about myself and about who I am. And I've kind of think I've learned, this is how I thought at the time, I kind of think I've learned who God actually may be, instead of like this scary ruler who's jealous and angry all the time. I think I kind of know who God might be. And this was how I really felt, because I started to really learn about different things that I wasn't allowed to learn when I was in Christianity, especially in that church. That church I was in was extremely controlling. In 2017, I started learning about the spring of 2017. I started learning about laws of attraction, and I got really into it. And I've heard of it, but I just never really I don't know. I was never interested to know what it was. I was just like, okay. But I had a friend tell me I should read the book, and she let me borrow the book. And then I got interested in watching the documentary on Netflix, and so I watched it. And I was so depressed. I was like something just made me think, what do you have to lose? What would it kill you to just try this whole positivity thing? Because I've always been a very negative person. If anything positive will happen, I'll be the first one to be like, oh, great things are happening. I guess bad things are going to happen soon. And before you knew it, bad things did happen. I didn't realize all that time it was me making it happen. I was the one causing a lot of things with my thinking alone. I know some people be like, oh, that's such bull. You can't control. No, it's true. Because you know what? Ever since I've gotten into laws of attraction, it's been since 2017. We're now in 2021 going into 2022. I've been practicing it, and it has completely changed my entire fucking life. And I'm putting so much emphasis in that, because I am telling you, and I'm not saying this to convince you to get into it. You know what? It's your life. You do what you want. But I'm just telling you, I would not tell you not to do it, because for me, it changed so much, and it was something that helped me heal and helped me grow. And I started to see things different. My husband started to notice, he started to take notice to the fact that I was getting into laws of attraction. He didn't like it at all. He was still Christian. He was attending a new church at the time. He was completely against it. Occasionally, off and on, I would go with him to a church, to whatever, if they had an event or whatever. And this is after I finally was able to start going, because as I got into laws of attraction, I wasn't really fazed as much by churches anymore. Like, I didn't feel like I would go into a church and have anxiety or panic. I didn't feel like I had to hide who I was or any of those things. Like, I would freely walk into a church and someone would be like, oh, we would love to see you, come for now on Sundays. And I'd be like, maybe, maybe not. See how I feel. If I feel like getting up on Sunday, maybe, it depends. And I started to really embrace myself. And he didn't like this, of course. He wasn't down with it, because, he wanted me to go to church with him, and he wanted me to be, that good Christian wife. And I'm just going to cut myself off real quick, guys. If you like this video, if you're enjoying this podcast, please do hit the like button. I appreciate that. And if you feel like there's anyone that can relate to this video or any other videos, do share. And if you're enjoying this entire channel, then do go ahead, feel free to subscribe, right? Why not? I'm just saying, go ahead. All right, so back into what I was saying. So, oh crap, I cut myself off now. I don't remember. My husband did not like the changes. He did not like that I was getting into all this positivity stuff, because he felt like it was me trying to play God. And he felt like I was trying to basically do what I want to do and play the role of God. And that wasn't the case, of course. That was not at all what I was trying to do. So it took 2.5 years, make a long story short. My husband actually left Christianity. And 2.5 years after I left, and after all of the stuff we had to go through after I left, I did not see that coming. I never ever anticipated it or expected it. I was always the first one to be like, that will never happen, because he could be very stubborn. And so I didn't see it coming. But during the time before he got into spirituality, when he was still in Christianity, we had it very, very difficult. And one thing that I had to learn was how to pick and choose, because I had to realize that if we're going to make this marriage work, we're going to have to keep our personal beliefs out of it. And do you know how hard that is to do? Because you naturally kind of just bring up your beliefs sometimes. Like, as a Christian, you'll naturally bring up God sometimes. As a person who believes in spirituality, or a person who just believes in whatever else, sometimes you might naturally bring it up. So I had to really keep everything to myself. Let me tell you, I had a book. I had a book called Laws of Attraction. My husband, he did not like it. He scared the hell out of me, telling me that it was going to open up doors to evil, all this crazy stuff. I took it. I got rid of it. I regret it now. I might actually go and buy it back. But it was a good book, and I got rid of it. I had to hide my crystals. I got into collecting crystals because I've always thought they was pretty, but I got into collecting them and like learning their meanings. I had to hide that. I had some oracle cards. I've always been really intuitive, so I wanted to learn more about reading with oracle cards and using my intuition and things like that and making it stronger, which over the years I've actually made my intuition so much more stronger. It's amazing. I had to hide that. Anything that was not God related, anything that spoke heavily and passionately about anything outside of religion, I had to basically hide. And one day he found my cards and got so angry with me and started telling me if something happens to the kids, if they go to hell, or if like, I don't know, I can't remember. He said something about the kids, that like basically it would be my fault because I let evil into our home and all this stuff. And he would say these things and it would just scare me. But as time went on, I became less and less afraid of what he would say. And I just hid who I was, but I continued to be myself and learn how to love myself and how to accept myself no matter what, whether my husband approved of it or not. I wanted to continue to try my best to be the best woman and mother and wife I could be without compromising my true identity, because I really felt for years like I always had to try and be somebody I wasn't. And I just at this time was like, I'm not doing that anymore. That is not how this is going down anymore. I have to learn how to accept and love myself, because I can't expect anybody to love and accept me if I can't love and accept my own true self. So that was a huge learning curve for me. And it was something that took time, but I learned it. So like I said, 2.5 years after I left Christianity, my husband ended up leaving too. Like I said before, did not expect that whatsoever. It was funny how it happened. He actually wanted to prove to me why Jesus and Christianity was true. So he went on like this whole project trying to find and dig up a whole bunch of info. He was watching apologetic videos, like everything to prove that I was wrong. And he was like, if I prove you're wrong, then are you going to go back to Christianity? And I was like, listen, I don't believe there's any way you could prove that you could prove that I'm wrong. I think I said it wrong. He asked me if he proves that, yes, that I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I thought I had mixed up my words. I said to him, I doubt that. I doubt I'm going to change my mind, because in order for me, and this is my personal opinion, no disrespect to anybody and what you believe, but if you're going to prove to me that your religion is real, it's going to take more than the Bible, because anybody could have wrote that. I mean, who was there to prove who wrote that? You could tell me, oh, well, it's in the Bible. All right, cool. But who wrote it? Oh, this person wrote it. All right. Well, who's the witness? Well, do you have evidence of that witness? You know, like, I need to know everything. And that's just how I felt. So I didn't think that I was going to be convinced, but I was like, hey, go ahead, go Go paint the town red, go crazy, go wild. And he did. And he went on this whole venture, and he ended up coming back telling me he believed in spirituality more and realized that Christianity was basically just a religion. And not that he had anything against it, but he started to believe more towards my beliefs, similar towards my beliefs, that you don't have to go to a church. You don't have to be in a religion. Like, it's not like God, you only have access to God if you are this specific label. We all have access to God. And he started to believe that. And I was like, oh, do you now? And I'm not the type of person to be like, I told you so, because I feel like you already know. You already know I told you so. And there's been so many I told you so's I could have done on my husband over the years, but I don't ever do that. I just be like, really? Do you now? Do you believe in this? So that was how that happened. But I know that that's not going to be the case for everybody. So this is my advice. This is my suggestion, my advice, whatever. You could take it however you would like. I would never tell anybody you have to do it this way or that way, because, remember, everyone's experiences are different. Everyone does not have the same experience. Everyone does not experience the same trauma, the same outcome, the same happiness, the same sadness. We all experience things differently. My experience is my experience, but for you, my advice would be, if you have a spouse who's still a part of religion and you have already left and they're trying to convince you to return, really love yourself through this, because that is one thing that I had to learn to do. I had to learn to really and truly love myself through it all. I had to learn how to accept who I am. And I had to learn how to say no to my husband if I didn't want to go to church, or if I didn't want to read the Bible with him, or if I didn't want to watch a video about why Jesus is real and still exists. I had to say no. And let me tell you, that was difficult, because we ended up getting into some arguments. He did not like that. He hated that. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I don't want to do it, or I don't believe. I had to be honest. And I told him, I had to sit down and tell him. I suggest you sit down and you speak to your husband. And you let them know, look, I love you. I love you so much, and I'm not trying to disrespect you, but I have to be honest with you. As much as I love you, I'm still my own person, and I cannot follow something to make you happy, because then I would be lying to you, because I don't believe in the same thing anymore. And yes, I know I'm changing. I know you miss your old wife or husband. I know that you want me to go to church with you and our children to go to church and all this and the family go to church, but this is not who I am. And right now I'm really going through a hard time, and I really need for you to be able to show me that love, that unconditional love that you promised when we got married. I really need that. And if you really unconditionally love me, then you'll be able to learn how to love me as I am now. Because really, we all grow. We all evolve. We all change. We're never going to be the same. And that's okay. We don't need to be the same. We need to grow, because we have different experiences, and we need to know how to adapt to life as we progress through life. And that's why these experiences help us. These experiences are meant to help us to learn how to adapt. So it's okay to change and to grow. It's just a part of life. But to try and be someone you're not, just to appease somebody else, just to keep it together, is not right or fair for you or the other person. And my husband did threaten to leave me. He did. He threatened to leave me once. He said, I don't know how this is going to work, Tina. I don't know how. So many times I've heard that a million. Like, it didn't faze me anymore, because I was like, please, you ain't going nowhere. But he did threaten to leave me many times because I didn't want to go back to the church. And I had to tell him, listen, I hear you. You gotta do what you gotta do. If you feel like what you need is a Christian woman, because one time he did tell me that he needed a Christian woman. He needs a woman who believes in the same thing. I was like, I hear you. I hear you. And no, I don't want you to go off and find somebody else. But if that's what you need to do because you feel like you can't be here and that's the only option there is, then I can't stop you. Just let me know ahead of time so I know what I got to do to move forward. Because my whole point was, at the end of the day, no matter what you do, no matter what you try and threaten against me, ultimatum you try to give, I'm not gonna lie about who I am. I'm just not. I'm not going to pretend that I believe in what you believe in just because you want to feel better about yourself or because you want to feel better about us. Why would I do that? So I did not. I stayed true to myself. And I highly suggest that you do the same for yourself as well. I suggest that you, no matter what, stick to your guns. Stick to your fucking guns. And you stay true to yourself. Because let me tell you, it is not easy. It's not easy at all when you're trying to hold it together because you're just like, what the hell is going on? Like, what do I believe in? Who am I anymore? Like you're literally starting to question everything. And that could be completely overwhelming. But this is why it's so important that you must stick to your guns. You cannot fall off. You cannot stop loving yourself. I'm not telling you to stop loving your spouse, of course, but don't fake things. Don't pretend for them because that only makes the situation worse. Be who you are, love who you are, work through your pain, work through your trauma, work through your relationship. And you know what, if it's meant to work, because me and my husband's still going through stuff, and there's nothing to do with religion. It's just we've always had stuff. And now a lot of the stuff that we had is built up so much that now we're actually working through it. But the difference is now I know anything can happen. And if it is not going to work, then it's not going to work. I'm not going to try to force the puzzle pieces to fit anymore. So you kind of have to get to that point where you decide we're gonna work this shit till the wheels fall off. But you know what? Once them wheels fall off, that's it. Like, I'm not gonna force this. I'm not gonna push it because this is how it is. And you need to really work with what you have. And you cannot change or try to change somebody else, but you can work on yourself. And you can make a decision that you are no longer going to be a part of this. And if you want to leave the relationship, or if you want to start seeing someone else because you feel like this marriage isn't working, you want to get a divorce and see someone who believes in the same thing as you, all right, fine. Let them. Because you know what, if they end up leaving you for somebody else who believes in the same faith as them, and that person changes, then what's going to happen? Because like I said, I don't care how long a person's been a Christian or how heavily involved in the church they're into. I don't care. Anybody can change. Anybody. Really believe that anybody can start to see things in a different way. People could go from being spiritual to be Christian. People do it all the time. That's what I'm saying. You can't. People think they're so special. Like, not me. That'll never happen with me. I said the same thing. Anybody. Because our life experiences change and mold us. And it teaches us. I don't know why people are so afraid to admit that. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with learning through your life experiences. Nothing at all. So anyway, that's all I've got for you. I hope that this video has helped anybody that feels like this relates. Again, if you did like, then press the like button, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TinaMarie_J. And also, don't forget, every Friday. Isn't tomorrow Friday? Let me see. I think tomorrow is Friday. Yep, today's Thursday. I'm always home now, so I don't be knowing what day of the week it is. I just be home all the time. I'm home. You guys don't know. I resigned from my job, so I've been celebrating that. So I've been working from home and loving every fucking second of it. So I never know what day of the week it is. I gotta look at my phone constantly or ask Alexa, what? Let me not ask her because she's turning blue. She's trying to talk. Not you. We're not talking to you right now. All right. So anyway, so yeah. So tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, I will be here to talk. I'll be talking about cult-related stuff. I don't even have a topic yet. I have a whole book of topics. Believe it or not, I have a whole book where I write all my topics, and then when I talk about it, I check it off. So I got to look through my book. But every Friday, make sure you're here. I'll be talking about ICOC-related topics, cult-related topics. Also, guys, I do one-on-one coaching calls. But before that, if you have not done a call with me, you can do a free consultation with me. So that is 30 minutes. And if you want to do that, the link is below. There's a Google form you fill out, and then I'll email you the information. I also do book one-on-ones for 60 minutes. So those are paid. So you look down below and you can book down below, and I'll reach out to you and we can talk, and I'll explain the pricing to you, and then you get to decide from there. Listen, I don't force nobody to do nothing at all, but if you do want to speak to me personally, then I do book, because that is time. Now, my beautiful people, join my beautiful Souls Recovery Facebook group. It's for all ex-cult members. It doesn't matter what cult you were in. Just as long as you were in a cult, you can join this group. I think that's it. I think that's all I have. Yes. And guys, tell me your thoughts. Let me know your comments. I love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. Let me know what you think, what your experience is. All right. I definitely am super grateful that you guys are here. I appreciate every time you click on my videos and you get anything from it. Honestly, it's very heartfelt. I really do appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I have such a headache. I'm going to eat and try to get rid of this headache. I will talk to you guys in the next video. See you soon. Bye.